Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Southwick Conservation Commission meeting Monday, March 4th, 7 o'clock. We're in hybrid. With us tonight, we'll start with Lucas. You can introduce yourself, Lucas.
I'm Luke Karen, conservation assistant, intern for Sabrina.
Okay, we'll move that way.
Dennis Clark,
Andy Reardon,
Norm Cheever,
Chris Pratt.
Amit Zanola,
Jerry Patria, and Kevin Sola.
Okay. All right. Do we have anyone that has public comment tonight? I don't see anybody online except for Norm. Okay.
Full board tonight. Is it too late to get a picture for the report?
I don't think it's too late.
Let's do that.
Who's gonna take the picture?
Jeff.
Sir Smith,
No.
yeah, the only guy out there. Or you guys can flip a
What are you
coin.
gonna take it with?
you can use,
Camera.
you can use my phone.
High tech, good.
We
Let's get on the other
We
side.
gotta condense.
We're in the new age.
Get back here, Liz.
Okay,
Trust me, I'm not important enough to be in the picture.
Come on.
gotta put the cameras in my brand.
that's right. Yep, yep.
One of these days.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, that's nice.
Squeeze everybody.
But you're not
Just
in the
one
picture.
Gene's not in the picture.
There you go.
All right.
Great.
Okay.
It's nice.
Okay, remind me to send that to Lisa.
Pre-approval.
Hmm.
Looks good.
Yep,
There you go.
we're all there.
Team of champions.
Can we go home now?
Yep, adjourned. Let's see, did I do that by mistake?
Good idea, Dennis.
Send photo to Lisa.
Okay, we don't have any
Just mention the name.
new, oh, can I do the minutes first?
Or the minutes.
Why don't we do the minutes? Those out of the way. You look at the minutes of February 5th. I was not here this time,
February 5th?
was I?
How did I miss that?
We're here for the fifth.
So acting chairman Pratt,
No, I'm not acting.
Chairman Pratt.
Could fool me.
Yeah, you think,
But this was from the meeting before. I think you just didn't fix.
yeah.
So it's either that or that is wrong.
Were you here last time? I think you were.
I think I was. Was the-
Oh,
was the
acting.
one-
So
Acting
the
Chairman
first.
Clark.
the
Yeah, it
first,
must have been the
second,
one
and
before.
fifth,
I was not.
Acting Chair Clark. Yeah, I missed that one.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I voted in all the
Yeah.
things, so I must have been here.
Yeah, you're the way down.
Remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
thank you, Dennis.
This was.
Yeah, Norm and I were missing one
This is
meeting. I don't
today.
know which one that was. That's Bradley.
was online.
Oh, okay.
But I wasn't able
Got
to
it.
make it.
Got it.
I don't have anything that says that, yeah, it's on the meeting.
Ah,
Then it's the, I think that was a great one. We went to the MAC conference. And how was it?
It was good.
Nice.
The campus is really nice.
Yeah.
It is.
It was rainy, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Page two. That conference was on the second, and the next scheduled meeting is on the fourth, so just swap those two.
What? Like those.
So that the second page,
Page two.
page,
two.
Jean, page 2. The second one down, the MACC annual conference, it was held on the 2nd. And then the next scheduled meeting right underneath is just March 4th.
like 100 degrees in here. Feels like
It is one.
I'm very comfortable.
We're gonna have to put this over too. Yeah. There's things that. Sorry.
Also, still new here.
Huh?
I'm still relatively new. Next week, or week after, whenever it is.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, March 18th.
Your birthday's March 18th.
20th. We have a meeting for community preservation.
I'll be sure to throw you a surprise party.
Yay! My last year in the 30s. Then it starts to get really real. Yeah, you just binge on candy. Feel like,
Exactly. I mean, what better is there to do? Nothing better than candy. That's why I brought it, isn't it? I love it.
They're all good. I'll entertain a motion when anybody's ready.
Make a motion to approve as amended.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Start over here, Dennis.
Dennis, I. Andy, I.
Nor I.
Chris, I.
I second.
Aye. Jerry, I.
Kevin,
All good. Let me just find this one. You have a signature page?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this one's fine too.
No, because
Doesn't say-
it's double-sided.
Silly, man.
saving paper.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Tripping hazard.
Only for clumsy people.
Okay.
I actually didn't look at the executive session minutes. No, stay private for a while, and then I think once executed,
Yeah. Should be on
they
that.
can become public, or they do become public. The executive, I can't remember.
Is that for all branches?
Switching places.
I think so. And there's also different types of executives, so I'm not sure if one's really get out unless there's a request for information. Eh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All righty, we're gonna go to our new business, Noble Steed subdivision, request for extension of order of conditions. Jeff, that's you. You can come on up if you want.
Down.
Lucas, you wanna grab that other chair for Jeff? It's up to you. That's a more comfortable.
Hopefully that's not the broken one.
Oh, grab a red one here, Lucas. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, there is one broken one in here, and sometimes the sign goes missing and
Mhm.
find out the hard way which one's
Should
broken.
make its way to the dumpster at some point.
You know what? That's a good idea. I'll tell Mr. Sutton.
Mhm.
So we requested this extension last month, right? And you were gonna discuss it this month.
Tonight.
Tonight,
Tonight.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, so. I don't know where we stand on it, really. I thought that it was happening in between and tonight there would be a decision.
well, we really can't discuss things outside of meeting time or else it'll be open
Yeah, well,
violation, so.
true.
Can the
Well,
order of conditions, can the extension, can that, things be added to that, or does it have to vote on the existing order of condition? It's something that,
I'm not really certain.
see what I mean there, Jeff? You can modify or if it has to be,
I've never been under this.
well, we haven't either.
I think we had this.
What kind of things do you want to add to it? I mean, I think that things can be but not written in, but they can be taken care of. If there's issues that need to be taken care of, they
Yeah,
can be taken
That's
care
what I
of.
was thinking that, I see that there's been a lot of discussion with, different boards and committees and with, planning
Planning.
board. And I'd like to discuss with them, where they stand, how we could reinforce what their, the issues that they're trying to push across. They're trying to motivate them to get done. So I'm not quite sure what's going on.
What about on North Pond? There was that building lot that was expiring. Did we amend any of that? Is that what you're what you're thinking of, Andy? Did we make any additional?
I thought we had this discussion about.
Was it
Grove
this one?
Speed.
But also remember there was that building lot on North Pond that was expiring. And there was conversation about maybe adding stuff to that.
Is that on North
existing-
They,
Lake Drive?
it was
No, I thought we.
expiring and they
Global Speed was coming up for
changed.
renewal,
Yeah,
and thought we had the discussion, and it went back to the state, and they came back with an answer. Thought that was how that played out,
Yeah.
I don't recall.
well, even if we didn't do an amendment,
Refresh that.
doesn't
and I
mean that
think-
we can't. You know what I mean? I just
Right,
like,
I think,
not sure.
are
if
you
we're-
talking about the sidewalk issues that they're not completed? Is that one of the issues?
Well, I guess there's more
Well, it could be out of
Mhm.
our-
different issues, but that's not one of ours.
Well,
That's
that
the
would be
planning,
something that
right?
Might be a planning board problem, but
Right,
one of my notes that I took while I was out there is that the silt fence around it, this is on the first left corner. As
hmm
you're turning and now you're gonna head east.
okay,
The silt fence in there needs addressing and I don't know, they stopped doing the sidewalk because it was winter and they're gonna start up in the spring,
Mhm.
but
Might behoove us to talk with John Goddard and even get some legal counsel advice on
right.
the best way to go about this.
I think that might be a good idea, because they're,
We have an opportunity now to try to actually get this thing resolved, to get it done.
right, I know he's looking. He talked to Steve and myself about an engineer for the crossing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's changed his ideas about that. He was gonna try to just do his own concrete work. I think he's looking at a
Yeah.
box culvert now and trying to,
drop one in.
yeah, have an engineer. do all this.
Mhm. Yeah, I think kind
Upgrade
of
his
what
original plan.
an idea we're having is scheduling of events, when he's gonna have certain phases finished,
Right.
you know, as
because
far as,
We were talking last year about,
amendments.
we had a site visit last winter at that crossing and he wanted to get it done pretty quickly.
He-
but then it
some things are
kinda got
taking
back-
too long
He
and
was saying he
there's-
couldn't do anything because there was a conservation restriction instead of the water quality, the 401 water quality. Has that been resolved?
Don't think so.
No, so Jesse sent me the updated CR, cause
But there's a conservation restriction for the open space, right?
mm,
And then instead of having the 401 water quality certification for the crossing, in lieu of that, they were gonna do another conservation restriction. Is that how that works?
Not that I'm aware of. I didn't have anything to do. I wasn't involved in the project when that stuff was taking place.
It's been a long time.
Kind of
It's been going on.
out of the loop on the early history on this. Kind of just picked it up last year and trying to get it in
Right.
compliance. Then I was off of it again for a
Yeah.
while. Now I'm back on
Well,
it. So.
glad you're aboard.
Well,
Yes.
I'm sorry that I
We need-
don't have
we need
any-
somebody-
Some clarification
For-
from Mark Stinson on what they need to get that crossing, if there is something actually in the permitting that's holding him up from doing that crossing. If that was what I thought was being relayed, I'm not sure if that's correct or not, though.
okay.
Jesse told me that you had emailed him something today or at some point. And then he said he forwarded it to me, but I didn't get the email. So,
I emailed something to Jesse,
yes.
cause he sent me the conservation restriction either last week or the week before. And I sent that to our town administrator, who's forwarded it to our town council, and I may have just responded to him saying that that's what's going on.
Okay, yeah, he
that's-
says, I emailed you a copy of the conservation restriction documents that I submitted to Sabrina. This will probably come up in the meeting,
Mhm. Mm.
so, but I didn't get.
Cause that goes to the homeowners association, correct? To CR for the open space, the homeowners are gonna hold that.
Usually,
Whereas a restriction for the crossing would just be a restriction where they say they won't disturb any more wetlands.
oh,
Get that clarified from.
yeah, because this is the
See what-
first
how
time
much
hearing
you
of that.
clarified Before. we
I thought it
Yeah.
was all
go
the,
Further.
okay.
I thought I read there was paperwork that was lost in the cycle. That now the
Paperwork that was never signed, they made it all out, but the state has to sign it. And the state never approved it, so it's gotta go through that whole process.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know where that stands
It's like
right
new
now.
forms now or something, like the
There
format
are-
changed,
there are-
right?
Yeah, the format changed a little because Jesse tried to submit it last year and it went to town council and they said, this is an old format, do a new format. So, yep, he's got the new format.
Right, I'm gonna talk to Jesse tomorrow and get my head around this. And if I need to, I'll reach out to Mark Stinson and try to see where DEP is on it. Water quality.
Okay.
And try to get a firm answer on this. I mean, it's in everybody's best interest to. get the order of
Oh,
conditions
absolutely. We want
that
this wrapped up. That's why we want
Yeah.
that timeline.
Right.
Yeah.
done.
I
We're
know.
not trying to delay anything, that's for
But
sure.
if Stinson, if we can put a timeline into the order conditions,
Mm-hmm,
because it's an extension,
that's nice.
you know,
Add time.
another 3 years or extension for how long?
Right,
So we can extend it from,
1 to
up,
3.
up to 3
Up to
years.
3 years, it doesn't have to be 3 years.
Right, so this last extension was only a year,
Okay,
just to try to keep him on his
yeah.
A game, right? So, and a good question, I thought we could, add to the order of conditions during extension time, but, I didn't know that was a question, so I'll definitely have to look into it and
Might
I,
have to have a advertised, public hearing.
maybe,
Oh, that's a
um,
probable.
public hearing. Cause I was even suggesting to increase the bond. Cause I think it's at 10,000 right now, but we just passed the 662A over at College Highway. It's a culvert crossing with a replication and that was 30.
30,000, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that would be a possibility if we can.
And since this
Okay,
project
yeah.
has started, costs have gone up as
Costs
well,
have gone
not
up a
just,
lot.
I know, what about the one, is it Bill Malone? That one was like 50,000, they set the,
Mhm.
bond down for that subdivision, or whatever we wanna call it, on,
Yeah, and the one on North Pond was 30,000. I think that was a $30,000 bond, so yeah.
There's more finding at 25,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 10,000 is. Probably not
Well,
enough
let's
to
see,
cover
figure
if he defaulted on it, it's not enough to cover the work that would need to be done.
Mhm. That'd be another question, to see if we can amend that.
Extension, increase bond, time frame moving forward, to know that. So I'm not sure if you know the answer to this, and this is kind of under old business, under Noble Steed update. Randy Brown called me today and he said something about like a driveway was being put in to lot 15, the last lot that Jesse owns. He had taken some trees down recently in that lot.
Wait a minute, are you talking about?
It's the
Noble
last
Steed or?
Noble Steed.
Noble Steed, lot 29, I think, yes, so. That would be the last driveway.
It's the last driveway.
Right now.
right
it'd
next
be
to
a
the culvert.
horseshoe, be like the north end of the property,
Mhm.
the east side.
Right, where
yes.
next to the culvert,
Mhm.
So
where that's gonna be.
he's, yes, on the east side of that crossing, right, so he spoke to me last week and said he was gonna get started on it, I said I was gonna write a letter that, let's be sure you're outside of the buffer zone. And he is, I said, you're gonna have to put up silt fence anyways, because it's not only are you outside the buffer zone, it's are you gonna impact the resource area irregardless
Mhm,
of
right.
your position, so.
Mhm.
He did put in silt fence, he's got it installed properly. Everything looks good in that respect. And he started grubbing it out. I went there today because we had a rain event Saturday and, they were putting in a temporary access. They were putting down, the geotex matting and then some gravel so they can make a firm road in there to get the some stuff off the site. Right now, everything looks good. He said that his brother, Nick, I think is his name, said that Jesse had spoke to some people from the town. I asked him who it was and he didn't know the
Mm.
names. So I don't know who he talked to. He's got everything in order.
Yeah.
But he should have.
Keep an eye on things closely, because this time of the year, it's, you know how that gets, it's, everything's.
It could turn into a real mess, right? I was happy to see that he's putting in a good firm base for a road so that he's not turning it into a
Mucking it
mud
up.
hole.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
good.
Um,
Good to hear.
So is it a driveway or like a landing pad for the equipment?
it's going to be a
access?
driveway, but right now it's just to get probably an excavator and a truck in there so they can pick up the root mass, the material that got grubbed out of the building area.
So in that, on that lot, I think that's the lot where the replication's supposed to be.
The replication would be, well, it's, the replication should be on Saltmarsh's portion of the property still, it wouldn't be on a private party's. And
Doesn't he still own that though? That's his, right?
the house lot
Yeah,
will be is his right now,
Yeah.
yes. But the replication work wouldn't be done on that parcel, because he wouldn't be able to do the replication on land that's gonna be somebody else's.
so where's it?
It's at the bottom of that hill. There's a narrow piece that goes down along the resource area.
On open space?
I believe so. And
Okay.
that's where. If I remember seeing the original plan, that's where it's drawn in,
Okay,
that it would be behind. One of the houses as you first come in. And it would be down the slope from this house.
Does he have access to it once that?
Well,
house
this
is built?
is. This
That's
is
a good question.
something that I have wondered about access. He's gonna have to either get access from that property, or he's gonna have to get access from the properties. That are on the west side of
the
the
houses that are already
crossing,
built.
because that's the only way to get in there.
Yeah, because once he sells all the lots and builds on the house.
not having access, right?
But it- but it's
Good for
have
the
him about
timeline,
the
too.
access.
Right, that's
To
another
add that to
timeline
the
thing.
That's,
timeline.
and also, yeah, I was in there today and I was looking at it. And, I'm gonna have to get the original plans out and we'll take a look and see exactly where that is. And we probably need to get out there and freshen the flags up on everything so that we know exactly where it is and we can start
That's a good idea.
making a plan about, are we gonna use timber mats and go in on the west side and cross? That's probably the best way to do it because it's flatter as opposed to coming down the slope.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
that's
possible.
kind of, I mean, I didn't do the replication plan or anything, but I mean, we can follow the plan and make it work.
okay.
Thank you.
Access to wetland.
Sabrina, the other day when you asked me to go look, and somebody called about knocking down trees, everything where he was working was much higher. Than the culvert wetland area. So you wouldn't put a replication where they were working the other day.
No, not up on
Wow.
top. It's connected, it's basically connected to the resource right now.
Right.
Down at the bottom.
Right.
But, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting maps mixed up. I thought that lot had the actual replication. That's why he's left that
And
for
it
last.
may be, but
Okay,
I don't think it should be that way. Replication, I don't think should be on
The building lot.
a building lot. It should be on the open space land.
right. I'm not
Getting
sure. I
carved
think
out.
the replication was
I
put
will-
before the building lot was taken out,
Okay,
but
alright,
that was in
okay.
2008 or something. It was
Yeah,
a while
well,
ago.
We can look into it and try to get myself up to date also. I'm sorry that I don't have every.
That's okay.
on it. I did talk to him about improving the erosion control on that bank. I talked to his brother today. I just said, if you take some of these old straw bales that are here, just break them up and spread them out on the bank.
Mm-hmm,
That's gonna help immensely. I
Right.
talked to him about topsoiling the east side of the road. It's in a resource area, but it's just good housekeeping to finish that up. It
Mhm.
got all
Right.
rubbed out and then never.
I'm almost
topsoiled or
plant
seeded.
seed right now.
Pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think that brings us up to date
Okay.
on his work. I'll have a, I have one of your forms, but I didn't make copies of it yet, so.
Okay,
And I'll probably end up having to go out there before the end of the week if we get substantial rain in the next few days. So,
When does this expire? When does it have to be?
it expires in 2 days,
Mm.
but he's requested it 30 days before expiration, so I'm pretty sure
Lead time.
that it's fine.
Okay,
It's just he can't do work after Wednesday. But he couldn't really do work really anyways, because he didn't have that conservation restriction within the resource area. I think we're good. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, if the timeline is legal, I'm pretty sure.
um,
Or he could have asked earlier.
like the-
Or we could have had more meetings in between.
Nora, what's that just now?
You want
That wouldn't be
update
too good.
More
More
vining.
vining also on right here.
Yeah,
All right, so you requested. I refreshed all the wetland flagging last month and I tied flagging on the. Just on branches and standing saplings. So we did go out, we restaked everything with. Stakes. They're marked 100 BZ. They have pink and blue flagging on them now. We Probably put out like. 50 or 60 stakes we staked. It's pretty conspicuous, but it's not. Overcome. So there is that one area. On that first access where they did encroach into the outer 50
mhm,
and so. And there's not much that can be done about it now. There's silt fence on the inside of that road between the resource and the road. But the buffer does loop out across the road in that one area.
Mhm.
That is the only encroachment that I could see. Otherwise, he's not doing any work out there right now. Nothing's being done, just I'm gonna ask him to add some more stone to the access road because I myself mucked up the road to
Yeah.
The stone pad is a little short. So I'm
mhm.
gonna ask Val to just build that up, otherwise it's in pretty good shape.
Is there anything coming across that road now, or is it still
I mean,
the access
there's
road?
no work being done out
Yeah.
there, so. I mean, I drove out there last week when I went out and staked it, and when I pulled back out, I said, wow, I. Got some mud on the road here.
Mhm.
I didn't have a broom, so I didn't stop. I just.
Yeah,
I
right.
just let it go out of
Probably a
there.
good idea, right?
That's about
Yeah.
it on that too, so.
Okay.
there we-
Do you know anything about his plan being submitted to the planning board for the subdivision?
I know that, Steve is working on it.
Okay,
Steve. He kind of got sick at the end of
Yeah.
last week and then, I think it's just got the flu.
Oh, that's
Nothing
sick.
serious,
Okay.
yeah.
Virus.
So he's working on it today,
Mm.
but,
okay,
he knows he's on a deadline to get it done.
Yeah.
And, there was something that was submitted to him that was in the wrong format that he has to get reformatted. That might have had to do with septic systems or something like that. I'm not involved
okay.
really in depth on that part of it. I just know what's being discussed,
Mhm.
so. I can update you on that, but probably, what's it, Randy Brown?
Mhm.
The engineer, probably him or John will probably know the next day or two
Okay,
when it is done.
Okay,
But I can, let's CC you on it, so yeah,
yeah, I have a site visit. We have a site visit
Tomorrow.
tomorrow at 4 if anyone wants to come. It's I think it's 46 Mort Vining, one of the new houses that's built right in front of that subdivision. And it's he has a wetland or a vernal pool in his backyard, what's been reported. And the owner of the property says that ever since Val had cleared out that area, he's been getting like an influx of runoff, and it's just flooding in his backyard. And so I'm going out there with a contractor to talk to him about what's going on.
okay.
So
Is 46 south of the original farmhouse? Or would it?
I don't know.
Okay,
is it where they put the new fence in just now? On the south side of the road?
It's isn't that some 72A
Uh,
Mort Vining? Where the house isn't up yet?
72
No.
is
That's,
right, is north, right?
yeah, that's north,
Right.
but this is 46 is
So
down.
this is probably. It will be like lot 8 or something like that.
Maybe,
All right.
Yeah.
You know, that drain has increased in its. And its flow volume,
Mm-hmm,
now that clearing's been done, it's flowing clear, there's no
yeah,
turbidity.
just
or-
more water
But
coming
there is
through.
more water and right now.
But it's going
the
through the
worst-
wetland area, filtering out and
Yep.
then continuing.
yeah.
Yep, so,
And Randy said that once the subdivision, like stormwater infrastructure gets into place, that the property owner would probably not see the issues anymore, but I don't know when that's going to be.
right, I mean, there's a drainage easement across the back of, if I'm thinking of the right lot. there's a
Yeah,
drainage
maybe.
easement there, and the owner may not be aware that. the flow is
True.
happening within this drainage easement.
I'll have to
But
look at
I'll-
maps before
I'll
I go
look
to the site
tomorrow.
visit.
I'll stop
Yeah.
and review that with Steve and try to give you your site visits tomorrow afternoon.
Or, yeah,
All right, I'll try to have an answer.
Or a
for you in
little
the morning on that.
or a little after, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. All
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that looks good. You hit the
Okay.
noble steed and Mort Vining,
right.
so I think yours all set.
Thank you for being
Thank you,
here.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Mhm.
So Steve, I said hi.
But I will tell him, yeah, he's doing good, he just got some.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Thanks.
you.
Okay, now it says we have an informal discussion with Brian Leduc and Flood of Johnson Brook.
Yeah, and Brian's not here. So,
Can I just give us an update so that if we do meet with him, we'll know what's going on?
yes. So, there is a property or a couple of properties across from the Shell station on College Highway that when we get large rainstorms, it floods and you can see it from the road. There is a new owner to this property, and when it does flood, I've been told that sometimes he can't leave his house for like up to 3 days because of the flooding
Just across the Shell station.
across from the Shell station. Yep. And just to take the story back to like 1989, there was a notice of intent for a stream crossing, Johnson Brook crossing. And in that notice of intent, there were 2 plans proposed. The first plan was for 3 culverts, which is what's been put in from my understanding. And then the engineers at the time reevaluated the stormwater, I assume, and said that what would be much better would be a bridge. And fast forward to a few years, in 1994, a certificate of compliance, complete certificate of compliance,
They
with
put in 2 culverts, right?
2 or 3 culverts,
2 culverts,
2 culverts then.
2 undersized culverts.
2 undersized culverts. And so in 1994, it looks like that the Conservation Commission issued a certificate of compliance, and so that closed out the job. And then Brian Leduc from Crestview had come in and asked questions on behalf of the landowner on, you know, what's going on, how could this have happened, like an as-built plan wasn't submitted to you guys, and how could you issue a certificate of compliance on something that wasn't necessarily really part of the plan? And I mean, the only answer I had was, I wasn't there at that time. I don't know the full story. I can only show you what we have in our file. And then, you know, I'm not the smartest person, so I was like, you know, I could ask Dennis or Chris, or you're more than welcome to come in.
Things happened back then, there
Yeah.
was no coordinator. People signed off on stuff because they believe somebody, you seem like a nice guy, we're not gonna lie to us, so they signed off.
And the stream crossing standards were probably non-existent back then. It's totally different
Maybe,
now,
yeah.
regulations
So
are.
stuff like that did happen, it slipped through the cracks, you know.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we're better than that now and doesn't happen again, but we're
yeah,
not responsible for what happened then.
right. So, and I did, ask Mark Stinson about this and asked if there is any statute of limitations, and he didn't know of any, but he also said like the order of conditions was issued, the certificate of compliance was issued, the case is closed. You're not an attorney, I'm not an attorney, none of you are attorneys. If they want, they can ask an attorney for legal advice if they want to go further with that. So I can let Brian Leduc know that, because I just got. the
So they have to
information today.
file what, another notice,
Another notice of intent, yep, the homeowner, but
can't do that under emergency certification.
I'm not sure about that. I wouldn't think
That
so,
was the question.
yeah.
Well, the thing is, how long has that been there? Since
That's
nineteen
why,
eighty-nine?
yeah,
So I wouldn't say it was.
If it was flooding the road, it'd be a different thing, but it's not, it's holding water back from going under the road. It's flooding upstream up to the Arnold
Mhm.
property and all the way back.
Yeah,
so that's.
So yeah, I
everything.
probably know the order of conditions, notice of intent, you
Mhm.
right.
Did they say what they want to do to remedy it, or it was just asking why it wasn't built the way?
The question was asking why it wasn't built the correct way, and it sounded like the homeowner didn't want responsibility for doing the process all over again. But he bought the property, so it comes with it.
No, I'm just asking
Yeah.
what their
What do they
intent
expect?
is. What is their intent? Are they
Yeah.
gonna, you said there was two different things, a bridge or
Bridge and
culvert.
culvert.
Do they wanna just put culverts?
I would think they would have to put a bridge now.
Yeah.
Just considering the
Yeah,
flooding.
yeah. I'm just asking like what. if-
With +2, I think, on either side now is the standard they have to
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
for the crossing.
But if they're looking for help from the commission, we can give them help, not financial help, but we can help them, you know,
With the
guide them in
process.
the right direction.
Right.
But if you're looking for financial help, that's something I don't think we're able to provide them with.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on. We have an update on active chapter 91 licenses. Norm, will give us some information.
So, can we share the screen?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just
Screen share.
in my own, remind me in 60 minutes. In my own world right now.
You have a copy of this that I will give
What
you
am I doing?
shortly. If I give it to you right now, you won't hear the first part. You'll be looking at the list.
Participants. You should be able to do it now.
Yep, it is. So the issue we have is that all docks on the lake either have to be registered either through an LPP sticker through Gene, or a chapter 91 license from from the state DEP department. And today there is no accurate list of chapter 91 licenses. So this would be my attempt to give you that list.
The state can't provide you with that. right?
Well, they sent,
They're the ones that hold.
I've been in contact with them. They're the issuee,
Yeah.
but once it's issued, they're done with it. They don't
There's
track it.
different
They
types.
don't track it.
There's different type of chapter 9 license 91. Some get transferred to the homeowner, some don't.
Right,
Some are amnesty, so it's.
right. So they did send me 3 files that were huge that I got to work with. Okay. But the key is supposed to happen that after they issue one, the applicant gets 60 days to get it registered with the Hampden County Registry of Deeds, and that
Right.
becomes the official record.
Okay.
Okay. However, using the Hampden County Registry of Deeds website is not that user-friendly,
Mhm.
although I think I've become pretty proficient with
There you go.
probably over 200 queries of but even you have a choice, you can query them by address, or you can query them by the owner of the license name.
Mhm.
However, I found some cases where you put the license in. No, you put the name in and you get the response. But if you put the address in, you do not get a response, so even the registry is a problem, okay? So. As Dennis mentioned, sometimes when property changes hands, the license transfers with the property.
Mhm.
Most of the time, it doesn't.
But if it's registered at the Registry of Deeds, would you think it's in perpetuity? Wouldn't it go along with the
No,
deed of the
Not
house?
always. Those that say.
You would think, wouldn't you, but.
Those that say it doesn't transfer, there's a clause in the license that says. If upon transfer, then the new owner wants to keep the license, they have 1 year to apply for it.
Okay.
And
1 year, okay.
Okay, and in most cases, nobody has, but there's been 1 or 2 that have. Okay. So for instance, I thought that the new marina on the northern end of Middle Pond that Frank Grillo bought, he's not registered on the Registry of Deeds, so I assumed he wasn't. That he didn't have a legal license. But the state informed me that his case, the properties changed hands, the license went with it.
There you go. Okay, so
Okay, so,
Okay.
that's good.
So
We know
it's-
So I
that.
know that one's good.
okay, so, when, Gene is trying to analyze whether a homeowner has a chapter 91 license or not. Because they don't have an LPP sticker, or they say they have a license and they don't have to buy an LPP sticker. She's got no place to really go.
Right.
You know, Dick Reynolds had a list. Well, he had a folder with maybe 40% of the licenses in it, but he didn't have them all.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna attempt to show you through this report. Boy, that's pretty small up there, isn't it? Anyways.
You can zoom it in if you want.
So I'm gonna hand this out now,
Oh, so we can read it.
and this will become hopefully very useful to Gene. Bring it on forward.
Yeah, that's, no.
Yes.
No.
No, there's 3 different reports
Okay, all right.
inside your. No, you'll get one.
I get one.
And just so you know, we do have a member of our staff here that has a chapter 91 license, and that's Jerry.
Right, chair.
Yeah, okay. So I found 37 licenses. And 12 of them are currently active.
Mass and Connecticut?
Yes. And then and what you have is sorted by state first. And then by street, and then by street number. Okay. And there are still 2 active ones in Connecticut. Although, because I didn't have pictures of their docs.
until the docs are back in, I won't be able to verify that they're truly active. I assume because they're so old. Because these go back to 1964. Okay. And Bab's Amusement Park was, I think, the first one here on July 28th, 1964. They had a license for a pier and a boathouse. Okay. And it's interesting that the length of the licenses varies all over the place, from no length, 5 years, 15 years, 30 years. One was 99 years. So, you know, it's crazy. So I tried to determine what off the issue date, when the expiration date is. Did it change hands? So I spent a lot of times on GIS in Suffield and Southwick, determine if the property had changed hands. So anything in red under the comments file is what I'm saying nullifies the license, okay? Or Frank Grillo's place, he has a license, he's active, but he has a couple of violations that he's not performing. So then the second file that you have is just the active ones. There's 12, and you can see there's 2 in Connecticut and 7 in Massachusetts. All 3 of our marinas are on that list.
Okay.
And then 2 expire this year. Jerry's expires this year.
Yay.
And,
30 years already?
Get the 99 this time.
the Hankey license on North Pond, that expires in June.
That's good
So
to know.
those 2 will have to decide whether they're gonna switch to LPP.
Yeah, probably.
It's easier to do it that way,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not sure what the renewal process is, so.
yeah.
Figure it out quick enough.
And then the last group is those that I have determined are voided. So there's 25 of them.
Bigger group.
And most of the time, the property changes hands. If the new owner doesn't apply for the 1 year. Move for the license to be moved to them, most of them have expired because of, wow. Okay. So. I'll continue working on this. As time goes on, I even found an instance where the state said an application was withdrawn by the homeowner. And yet I found the license for it. So I haven't sent that back to the state yet.
We charged them for doing it.
Well, this is something that Gene would never have the time to do. Sabrina would never have the time to
I
do.
don't know where you're finding the time. to-
I know.
Oh, my-
Well,
That's a lot of work.
this is digging deep.
Wow.
It's
Amazing.
a problem that comes up every year, whether it's conservation or LMC.
Mm-hmm.
Gene has headaches after headaches with these, so. So now she should only have to deal with 12 of them in my eyes, and like I said, 2 of them in Connecticut, I'm sure are gonna expire this year. After I see their dock configuration.
Nice work, Norm.
Yeah.
So that's the presentation, thank you.
Thank you. That's amazing. I like the color coding too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I went to.
That makes it so much
I
easier.
went to do the printing this morning. And ran out of ink.
Yeah, I just see why.
Had to go to Walmart.
Oh, boy.
You can come here. You can come here and print.
Well, I would have had to send you my file. I didn't know if you were in.
I'm always in 9 to 12 in the office
Okay.
unless something like a doctor's
That was,
appointment or something.
that's what I was gonna do. Then I was gonna make the copies here. Because I didn't want to print them on my.
Well, you should have.
Office
Next
secured
time.
now, there's you have to check in before you get those
You
offices.
you have a
Yeah.
badge?
You don't check in, it's just like a reception area, so that way like we don't have people creeping up behind us.
Can't
Mhm.
waltz in there anymore.
Yeah, it was the only office that didn't have like a reception, so we got a reception. And my door is kind of like closed off to the public and you have to go through the.
Receptions.
Good question. We lost somebody. They didn't die, but we lost someone in the office.
Move
Found
something.
out
He could
today.
be the receptionist.
Right.
Oh,
Love
yeah,
that.
he just scared everyone
You like to
away.
talk.
So, but actually we did get a new person, secretary for, I believe it's economic, cultural, historic, and
Mm.
I can't remember the fourth one, but 4 committees. So
Mm.
she's gonna be in there. I think her name is Judy. So she came in today.
Okay.
And I met her, but she's she's not temporary, she's not full-time, so. Yeah, that's a good question. We will be there
So
to,
Gene, I will send you this file. Okay,
Okay, discussion LPP. Next on our agenda, is that,
I think that's that would be the letter, right?
no, there's another one, but the members to approve local permitting program letter to dock owners. We can move down there if you want.
Yeah,
But did
I may
everybody
have
get the
just, I
copy
may
of that
have just
letter?
doubled it.
yeah,
I did not see a copy of that, but
There you go.
two copies of the recycled bin.
That's the one. There it is.
Get a copy of
Yeah.
that letter.
There's the ice out letter. The only one I care about.
That one's the item.
Right, that one. The agenda.
This one says, attention all lakefront and members of Lake Congamon Association's 2024 local permitting program. Partial removal of any dock or lifts or swim platform will be subject to fines December 1st. Beginning December 1st, 2024, unless a variance, section 6.2, annual removal of docks is granted by Conservation Commission, Harbor Master, and Lake Management Committee. In accordance with section 6.2 of the local permitting program, docks must be removed from the lake in their entirety no later than December 1st. 6.2, all structures shall be removed from the water December 1st of each calendar year and may be returned after ice out, and only after a renewal fee has been paid. So even after the ice goes out, you still have to pay before you put it back in. You have to get your permit. Penalties may be incurred in ordinance with 7.3 of the local permitting program and 7.3 unless deemed major health and or safety hazard. Property owners and violators of this local permitting program for water-based structures shall be given 7 days after due notification by certified mail to correct the violation or face a fine of $50 per day thereafter. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept that letter.
I'll make a motion to accept that letter.
Yep,
A caveat to that,
yes,
this letter will be mailed to everybody who's applied for stickers. It'll go out with their stickers.
great idea.
Right?
With
Yeah.
the stickers.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, it's to the point, it's, everything's clear, I mean, looks excellent.
So Matt made a motion,
I'll second it. Norm seconds.
Norm seconds, all in favor, Dennis?
Dennis, I,
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Before, so this will go out with every sticker every year, and every year you'll just change the year,
Yeah.
No,
like right now, it's
it'll go out just this year,
right,
Okay,
every year,
but it says it subject.
or what if we get a new applicant?
or a new applicant.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't want to remind them of the same thing every year.
Right.
Yeah.
So you-
And you become their
it's
mother,
expensive too.
Aye.
okay, Norm,
Aye.
Chris, aye. Matt made the motion, Jerry?
Jerry, aye.
Kevin, I.
Okay, unanimous.
Now, was the discussion on the local permitting program relative to the docks that weren't removed?
Yeah, we can talk about those too. Do you wanna spearhead that? Larry?
Because we have, we have the 2 on North Pond, one is
Mhm.
Frank Grillo's.
Mhm.
You contacted him and he says it's almost time to put in the new docks.
He said he's
So-
not gonna take it out,
I'll take it out.
but
Which one is that?
Frank Grillo's.
at his yeah.
And
His personal dock at his house?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So there's the question of, he didn't comply, should we give him a sticker when he applies for a sticker this year?
Well, he's not in compliance, so you can't give him a sticker, right?
I don't know.
Well, the
This is an
question
annual
we wanna
thing.
Force him to take it out and then he can put it back in a month.
Oh.
No,
Right.
that doesn't make sense to me, but I think,
You can't give a sticker to a dock that's in the water, because you have to have the sticker before you put the dock in.
Yeah, that's one of my
Right.
points. It's like,
Compliance,
Take it out and put it back in, and yes. that-
or fine him for putting it in too early.
Lead over the end. Typical.
yeah,
I think that would
it's up
teach
to
them a
you what
lesson
you
to
guys want to
take it
do.
out on time next
Yeah.
time.
That would be a government thing.
Yeah.
We can't issue a sticker to a dock that's in the water.
It's a circle.
did he apply for a sticker for that dock last year?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
So he paid the fee.
He paid
The
last
only
year.
thing he didn't do was take it out.
you didn't
Correct.
take it out.
Right, so you could issue a fine and tell them that, leave it in.
And I think we talked about that last time, was issuing the fine, but then,
Is this the first year it hasn't been taken out, or is it every?
I don't think it came out last year either.
So it never comes out.
Is it one of those things where we could give them one warning and then do it the following year or?
Well, then you'd have to do that with everybody then.
Yeah.
Sure.
it's opening a can of worms.
I suppose.
Well, that's what this ice out letter is doing,
Right.
essentially giving you a warning.
Well,
Yeah.
That's true.
So you're issuing the warning this year, so what are you?
Well, I mean, you're really notifying people of what's gonna happen, but it can still happen now. Just because we didn't warn them doesn't mean it can't happen. It's in the LPP. It's part of the LPP now. It's not like we're changing anything. But we're being nice by sending out a letter
Yeah.
and say, hey, don't
Yeah.
get yourself in trouble like these guys did, or, you know.
Does issuing the fine require another day with the magistrate and that whole process, like we had to go through when we,
If he appeals it,
so by the time he appeals it, will be past when the dock can go back in the water.
It can go back in right now. He just has to have a sticker.
Ice is melted.
Yeah,
So you just back to the only.
that's what I'm saying.
The
Is
only
it,
thing you could dig.
we
in
can
is-
fine him for putting it in too early. It's in there right now without a sticker on it
And-
for this
or you
year.
could say we can't issue a sticker to a dock that's already in the water. And then you would have to do that with everybody in the future as well. So if you
Right,
put
right,
your
that's what
dock
we're
in
saying.
on Sunday, because it's nice, and then come for a sticker on Monday.
Well, I mean,
You're just.
Well,
that's different.
Everybody's been doing that
Yeah.
for many years now, so I don't think that's
Yeah.
gonna happen, change overnight. Gene, right, I mean, a lot of people come in after the fact, you know,
yeah,
July,
but that,
yeah,
but that's different
True.
than not taking,
You know.
purposely not taking that out of the water, then saying, no, I'm not gonna do it anyway. You know, that's kind of in your face, and I don't appreciate that, you know, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay,
think we
well-
give, you know, what would be the max amount of fine we would give? Like, somebody doesn't take it out by December 1st, it freezes in, they're not gonna be able to get it out of the ice.
Mm.
You know, there should be maybe a max instead of $50 a day, because they're in for the winter, how long that is, you know?
But then is it worth paying the $250 max and don't take my dock out? Where are you gonna set? the max?
That's what we're talking about, exactly,
If there's a $5,000.
Yeah, I don't care, I'm gonna leave it.
Fine, I'm taking my dock out.
right? But are we gonna do that?
I know, I was at our association, we pay, I think, $100 for help for someone to come help us with the docks.
Yeah.
To pull it out.
We always get them out.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, you're wise to do that, because the ice can take it for a ride.
yeah,
And some folks just don't like doing it, I guess.
Yeah. So there was Frank's and then there was his neighbor.
Yeah, I think he's confused.
And that's when they had the upper dock and the lower dock, and they had permission to keep the upper dock in the water
Yeah,
because it's really over land.
it's over the wetlands, yeah.
But the one below, he got a variance several years ago to keep it in. And he thought that variance was
Good forever.
good forever,
Oh, yeah,
okay? And he didn't,
I tried explaining it to him and he's like, it's not in the actual LPP, it doesn't say that. I'm like, but the
We're gonna have to
LPP is,
include that to make sure.
The
we did
LPP,
that
yeah.
already, Yeah,
the LPP is annual, so everything on the LPP is annual. And
So-
then I think he said he got permission from the state to leave it in, so then I think that's when he's getting it confused with the NOI and the order of conditions.
Yeah.
So I have to clarify that.
right.
tell him maybe he should get a chapter 91 for his,
The little
well,
section.
if he wants to have
The
it,
whole
so he
thing.
doesn't have to come back every year.
Mm,
He wants the same variance every year, that'll have to be talked about.
But back to Gorilla, what's the answer for that?
Yeah, what do you guys?
Wouldn't be just him, but anybody on the lake that
Yeah, that'd be
says,
the
oh,
same.
too late, I'm not gonna take it out, and they do it year after year, what's the answer to that?
You know, my
I
person,
think you should take the date that he sent the email that says, I'm not taking it out. And fine him $50 a day from that date until May 15th when they do that.
But
Sounds reasonable to me.
well,
isn't it in the LPP where we have to find him after a certified letter?
Right.
Well, we'll
We did
issue
send-
him a
I think we-
certified letter,
Yep.
and then we did send him a certified letter,
Mm,
and
Well, in that case, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with Gene, I'd make a motion to do that.
So.
I mean, are people still voting and everything, like just the tail end before December 1st?
Sure.
yeah,
You do,
The ice didn't really
yeah,
Yeah, there
freeze
was,
until January this year.
yeah.
and I've
Barely
noticed them
have
both
ice
in
right.
now.
Yeah,
in some parts of the lake
really-
never froze.
It never really fully,
This year, no.
Yeah,
and there was guys out yesterday fishing.
Right.
Out there, they thought.
So December
Right.
1st is a good day
Ice out.
Ice out, yeah.
as a deadline.
Whatever that's determined,
so you made that
And if we pushed
motion,
it up, made it earlier.
Yeah.
it would've
I
been
just have a question. So he'd be responsible for, what is it, X amount of days at $50 a day?
mm-hmm,
Could be a lot of money.
right. That's-
What did you think
Seems kind of
between?
steep.
He can
It
appeal it,
does,
but,
yeah.
you know, we gotta send a message out there that it's, you know, this isn't just, you know, at your will, it's, you know, you can do it if you want to, or.
I
don't do it
certainly
if you
wouldn't
don't
want to be on
to.
the other end. of
Especially
it,
if
though.
certified letters are going out,
Yeah.
it's not,
Yeah.
you know, it's not something that was just a casual conversation. you
Right,
know.
well, he's a
He's
business owner.
defiantly going against the
No.
process.
So,
Somebody that has a
Mm.
marina that's not in compliance with chapter 91
Right.
is not in compliance with his own personal property.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it
the thing, he's a business
Sends-
owner now and he's involved directly with a marina, so.
sends a bad message out there to everybody else.
I would agree, you know, to do something, but I don't know about, what would that amount to dollar wise? Hundreds of dollars, right?
A day, yeah.
Well,
50 bucks
50 a day
sure.
times-
That's-
So it's
It'll be
250
thousands
each
of
week.
dollars.
It'll add up.
And then I don't know when we sent out that certified,
That's what I'm saying.
A few
Should there
weeks
be a
ago.
cap on?
I can check.
yeah.
Well, he can appeal it, you know, that's.
well, so that's, so we find people in the past and they actually haven't paid it, they've done other things, are we gonna like?
Correct.
Send this as a message to say, listen, we're not
Yeah.
messing around this year, and then, like,
You can volunteer to do something
I
else.
mean, I get, you know, we need to send a message, but I'm also not in favor of just like. Putting a huge fine on people, but unless they're, you know. Gonna continue to do it, but I think we do need to send a message, you know, like we find, Noble Speeding, they didn't actually end up having to pay them, right? And
He did work.
He did work, so. I don't know how. We could do.
Like I say, you find him and then he can come appeal it and you can, you know, before we actually send it off to the magistrate and have it to go to court. He can appeal it, maybe we can work something out with him, but.
And
Send a
then just
message
say,
to
and
him.
then just say, this is, you know, you forced us to do this, we don't wanna do this, but, you know, next year,
Yeah, we'll
it's
give
not
you,
going away.
we'll give you a
It's
break
not
this
gonna-
time, but.
Yeah. Well, if it happens next
again,
year, he's probably not gonna get the sticker the following year.
It's a stern warning.
Hmm.
And if he doesn't get a sticker, then we can tow the dock away.
We've had people that
Or he can get
said
chapter
that they couldn't
91.
remove it because they were
So the motion on the table,
injured or
Did somebody make a motion?
I made a motion.
Old.
Dennis made a motion to fine,
Gene, was from the day that you sent the certified letter or
they received,
you received it?
right?
Right, until you can shorten the time and make it from the day he received the certified letter until the day he submits his application and payment for the 2024 LPP.
okay,
So that's standard.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
You gonna make?
thank you, Gene, for helping him out with his words.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Dennis, I.
Andy,
Nor am I.
Chris, I,
I.
I'm gonna abstain.
okay,
Haven't I?
all right. All righty then. We're moving on to 1 Hudson Drive
I have a
update.
feeling we're gonna be talking about this again.
Oh, yeah. We'll be talking about it over and over again.
I'm gonna come back.
Yeah.
I guess I need to remove
Oh, my
myself
God.
from this discussion and sit on the other side. of
All
the-
right, actually,
You've got the other.
unless
side.
you want to tell us about it.
Yeah.
Well, right, don't I can sit as a board member.
I'll go on the other side of the table.
Well, I mean,
So are you officially recusing
oh,
yourself
okay,
from,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think
You're
we're not really gonna vote on any.
you're just giving us information.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna vote on anything.
anything.
So you guys
Yeah.
have something from this case, Andy's, it's 1 Hudson Drive is the first one and it's got highlighted. So this is my email. I didn't send it out to everybody. I just sent it out to Chris and Norm. And then the second page is my pre-construction site visit paper. And then there's a couple photos from the site visit, as well as something from Arla Vec, giving an update with silt fence and tracking pad. I believe that's what we call it. So did you wanna start?
Sure, in your letter, you asked about 3 buildings or 6 buildings.
Yeah,
It's always been my intention to put the 3 right now. But we had it engineered for the total of 6. And approved for the total of 6, so I don't have to go around twice.
okay,
So the pond, all the pipes. Like the drainage pipes for the second set of 3 are gonna be extended out and stubbed off. all you
okay,
gotta
so
do
it's
is
not
put
gonna
those
be the
buildings
3.
in.
It's gonna be,
It'll be correct 3 in a row. Right.
Two separate phases.
yeah, I probably should use my
3
words instead
The
of
3 directly
moving.
behind Comey's lot are gonna go in, and then the 3 that are further north will go in later.
Okay, all right, that answers that.
And then, discuss the silt fence. That abuts Comey's property. Rob agreed to remove that because Comey's property is actually up gradient from my property. And he said oftentimes it puts silt fence on the plan just more as like a limit of work definition. And even the silt fence that goes around the back of my property is up gradient from the work site. So, but we put that, you walk that, we put all that in.
Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking about is if it's up gradient and it's like, what is it, like a storage area back there? It's bare,
Hmm.
so,
You know, all that bare ground will have buildings. in it.
no, on his property. So you're talking about the silt fence in the corner of Comey's.
Correct.
Yep, and then it was basically bare, so, and it's up gradient, so, and I know there's a ditch right there right now, and that'll probably hold all the water, but that's just one thing to consider is, will there be water coming onto your property? But there is a ditch and there is a brick wall, so I don't think in this case that will have an effect. I'm thinking out loud.
They're looking for a modification, not to put those still fences up on the gradients.
Yes, that's one of, I believe that's one of the modifications requested.
And then the track pad,
Mhm.
the existing gravel driveway is 250 feet. So adding another track pad in the driveway basically is a
Mhm.
track pad.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it looked pretty clean on the road. I mean, I don't know when the last time you guys went in and out with a machine back there, but it looked clean.
Yeah, we're constantly in, I mean, when customers are back there with their cars, I mean, they don't come out of the mud, but they come out of the property.
Right.
Mhm.
Off
So-
the track pad basically.
So those are those 2 things,
There's only 2 modifications requested.
I believe. Do you remember anything else? You're really good
That
at.
was all you had requested.
And you had looked at me moving the fence that little bit, which we had agreed to in the previous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Right,
already
yep.
changed that.
Very cool.
Oh, there
That's all
was.
You looked at that.
There was one thing that wasn't according to plan and I didn't realize it while we were on the site. It was, and I don't know the technical name for this.
That's the emergency overflow outlet.
Yeah, so the emergency overflow outlet was technically supposed to be within the silt fence. So I talked to John Goddard and he said really it shouldn't be it shouldn't have an effect. So this
Okay.
was the only thing that I saw that was sort of like outside of what was on the
The
plan
agreed plan.
that I could see.
I think during construction, it would be wise maybe to have done that. But
Yeah,
After that's put in, the amount of volume that's gonna come out of that and then get caught in a 6-foot piece of silt fence. Would
Tear it
be in
apart.
the correct ratio.
Yeah.
And really with the river, everything's stabilized
Yeah.
right.
behind the cell fence.
Right.
with the river wrap, so.
Is there on the, what is it, filtration fabric underneath this? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, he mentioned as long as that's in there, it should be okay. So this was a pre-construction site visit. However, some work had already started, so I just wanted to clarify that. But it looks like right now, because you answered my 2 questions, and the certificate of compli or the order of conditions is recorded. The bond is posted, so I think it's good to go. Start date now. You're in compliance now.
In monthly reports, that's the other thing.
Yeah, it was in the order of conditions, once a month while construction is underway within the 100-foot buffer or within the resource area, but you're not working in the resource area.
Another designated person.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that, and I'm not sure if we need to actually put that on the agenda to make it official. So Andrew Reardon would be the erosion control monitor. Do we have to have that on the agenda in order to accept that is nomination? Okay. So do you accept that nomination of Andy Reardon being the erosion control monitor?
I make a motion to
Go ahead.
approve that.
He wants to
Second.
do it.
Second.
I seconded.
You did.
Okay, I went.
Good for you.
Fight.
Well, I-
Fighting about it.
Amendment votes yes, I'm pretty sure.
It's the battle of the second.
Okay.
The battle of the second, there you
It's
go.
not a conflict, is it? Your conflict of interest,
What,
the commission would be its own.
that's a good question.
I can't see it as a conflict.
No, because he's not acting as a commissioner.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I mean, but anything, you would think that he would be more educated than other,
Yeah,
absolutely.
other than like.
A wetland scientist
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
He knows what's going on his
Yeah.
property, so
Yeah,
He's
and
not voting on it, he's not
it's
acting.
to his best interest to,
it's not like Sabrina's not gonna go out there and check in.
right?
It's just right down the road.
All
I
right,
like to surprise people.
Did we vote? I heard a second.
We all in favored it already,
did.
except for Kevin, I think was the last one.
Aye.
Aye, so we're all good.
Okay.
Unanimous, except for you.
I
You
abstain.
abstained.
True.
All
Okay,
right.
start days today.
All right.
Okay, we did LPP, discussion of fire department of possible tree removal behind the fire drill building.
Yeah, so Brian from the fire department contacted me about wanting to take down a tree over by where they do the training.
yeah, behind the.
And we are close to the Great Brook. Is it Great Brook back there? Yeah, we're close to Great Brook. So he was like, are we in jurisdictional area? I'm like, well, I'd rather you not take down the tree. Why do you want to take down the tree? And he's like, oh, for practice. Because the guys needed practice. I'm like, couldn't you practice somewhere else? So,
Just cutting down trees.
so yes, cutting down trees and practice cutting up trees with chainsaws. They just need to practice that. So I'm like, how about you do that somewhere else? I'm pretty sure you could find someone that would
Mm.
love that work. So
Yeah.
he did. He found somewhere else. He's not going to cut down that tree as far as I know. And Yeah.
Some people want a lot of trees cut down.
Mhm.
I know. That's what I told him. I'm like, this should be easy to find a place to cut down a tree. Right?
There's a
I could ask them next time.
wetland behind there, not just a brook, but that whole.
Right.
area.
Yeah, it's a wetland.
Cattails and-
Cragmites
right.
everywhere.
It's
It's-
Yeah. So the tree has been saved.
Good.
Yeah, all set. We're good on that.
All set.
Okay, and then we got Lucas here, he's gonna discuss the possibility of a social media presence. We went and had a meeting with the select board, I hear.
Indeed, we got our approval
Okay,
quick enough, so I started working on it. Just gotta make an account and then we make a page through that
Mhm.
personal account. And then once we do that, I'll probably come by next meeting with some
Mock-ups
information
and-
to
yeah.
start posting about
okay,
Which social media platform will you use?
Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the easiest for our community. I think the most people in this
Utilize
town
that.
have it as opposed to anything else.
Right.
And
Like
if we
you're
want to appeal to like a younger population, Instagram's right hand in hand with Facebook,
Mhm.
so.
If you say so.
I think
Yeah, and just remember, everything has to be approved
Of
before it
course,
gets
yeah.
on, so. just
there's
make sure.
actually something, and I sent it out to everybody like at 5 o'clock or something
Mm.
recently. Right before this meeting that we got from Mark Stinson at DAP. And I just really quickly read over it, and it had something to do with getting the word out to the public about the spotted lanternfly invasive insect. Then there was a new one, box alder moth, and it's out in Cape
Hmm.
Cod now. That's the first I've heard of that one, so get the word out for that. And then flooding in the basements, there's like a QR code for like
Yep.
something.
Hmm.
So that could be
So,
Yep.
posting once that
Yeah.
gets
You can throw
approved.
some links on there and some
Hmm?
informational links on there
Yes,
with QR
Yeah.
codes.
Yeah.
just,
I sent
what other-
ICC'd you on it
What other
too.
platforms are popular other than Facebook? I mean,
well,
Or
let's
bus,
see,
you can do like
there's
a
definitely
Facebook page.
Instagram. Facebook, the downside of Facebook is it doesn't
Got
really appeal as
faces.
much to like the younger
Right.
population anymore. There's also Twitter, but
Some
I don't
link,
think that
I
many
don't-
people my
Right.
age use Twitter. I use it personally, but not many people. Also TikTok, but I think that would take far too much effort because we would have to go out and film stuff.
Right.
Video platform.
Let's hold off on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just see how Facebook works.
Because once you leave, who's gonna take that over?
That's
Yeah.
true, exactly.
Well, I told him-
Want to do it.
I told him like, if you want to keep doing it after you like are,
I'd like
you
to
know,
be quasi-sustainable. Yeah, if we're gonna start something, I'd like to be able to continue.
yeah.
Right.
And who knows, we might have some more DLE students down the road. I think
Yeah.
I think we're shedding a positive light,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, it seems like Lucas
Good.
is having a good experience, so that's
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah,
a good thing.
yeah,
it's that one, right? Basement on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like that.
Basement flooding. I think that almost everyone's
Perfect.
basement flooding.
I'm used to, but I moved. Okay,
Okay, oh, sorry. go ahead.
and then we have request for permission to access Sofinowski property after sunset for stargazing purposes.
Yeah, so in the last select board meeting, I went right after Lucas to talk to the select board members about the stargazing. And they had said, oh my God, I wish I wrote this down. We'll try a temporary like a trial
Mhm.
from April until I think July. It'll be that time frame. And we'll have to write up like an agreement with that person.
Mhm.
So it's just for this one person, it's not
It's
a-
one person. It's not the group, just this one person. So yeah, I don't know if you guys need to also vote on that. To vote to approve to have this person come after hours on the Sofinowski property for stargazing purposes, or if this is the
It
select
was
board.
originally, I think, just to keep the neighborhood at ease, with just people drifting around the woods with whatever they bring with them.
Mhm.
So that there's
You didn't want a party
something
spot,
they can
right?
present in the event that somebody comes up to them and says, what are you doing here?
Do you want a motion for that then, Sabrina, so that you have unanimous consent from the
Yeah.
Yeah.
commission?
Motion. Yes,
I'll
please.
make a motion.
A second.
Uh-oh, who's in
Battle of
that?
the
Another
second.
fight, and that's trying to get in
Goes
there.
I don't know who beat who on that one.
Flip a coin. Let Gene flip a
I'll give
coin.
it to you.
It was Kevin that did it. Okay, we'll go around the table.
Dennis, yes?
Diane, sorry, you're behind Lucas there.
Just a comment, we did say we were gonna ask them to have something on their dashboard in case someone spotted their car there, the police respond, they see that they have permission.
Hmm.
And they were going to notify.
The police department. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, we kind of talked about notifying the police department ahead of time, but the dashboard thing's probably not a bad idea. So if they do show up, they can see. Should that be issued by the police department, or who's gonna issue the,
I think it was me that was gonna like design it.
Okay.
And then just some document
Yeah.
With.
An official looking
Town seal on it.
seal,
Town
okay,
seal, the dates that he's allowed to
We
be
have it
there.
okay,
On the dashboard, the cop can identify the car. You know, if we say Diane can go
Right.
look at stars and her name's on the dashboard, the cop, and he can run the plate anyways.
Yeah.
true,
So we don't, you know.
Yeah.
Put stargazing on the dashboard and you're good to go.
Sofinowski Stargazer approved.
yeah.
I don't think it needs to be complicated.
No, I don't think so either, so I'm sure we're on the same page, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay,
Aye.
Aye.
aye,
Aye,
Alright,
we're all aye.
no eyes.
Okay, Greenville Gorge kiosk roof. That's, needs to get done. The measurements on the one at North Pond are 4 feet. To run the slope and then 8 feet 4 inches to run the width of the kiosk. So there's that for material.
And then we need
I
to
have
find out.
more than that at my house, but it's a different kind of material.
Talk about metal.
Yeah, but it's not the right width. It's. So it'd have to be piece, you know, it's no big deal. But that's free.
Is it the lovely green?
No, it's not. It's lovely silver. But if you want to go with the same, then definitely go with the same. I'm just saying
Well, how much something like that costs for?
I have no idea.
I just got 4 sheets, they were 8'4" long. For a chicken run, and it was like $280 for metal,
For 4 sheets.
for 4 sheets, 8 feet long.
So maybe we should just buy the right,
Yeah, the same.
Color.
I'd like it to be
Make
the
it look-
same
make it look good, yeah.
myself.
And that was like a color, it was burnt, the color I got was burnished slate, but you can, there's a variety of
Yeah.
colors you can choose from.
Where'd
That
you
was
get it?
Kelly for that.
Kelly
Okay.
Burdette?
That's the exposed seam, it's not like standing, like, it's not like a concealed fastener, so you can see the screws and stuff.
Yeah.
but-
Wait, is Kelly Burdette the type of metal?
No, no,
It's
that's
a
a
lumber yard.
lumber company.
In East Long Meadow.
Oh,
Hmm.
they're up there too. There's 2 in Enfield.
Yeah, that's right, Enfield too.
Did you
Yeah.
get the wavy stuff or the square like?
It's like the classic rib that you see, like,
just
yeah.
the Wavy stuff,
Mhm.
yeah, Home Depot carries that.
Oh, that's like the real
That's-
corrugated,
and
no,
that's
this is like
flimsy.
the, yeah, this
Yeah.
is like there's like 4 something ribs and, yeah.
Yeah.
alright.
That's a metal.
Where did the,
Classic rib is the style that like I got. It's
where
like
did the
cotton.
one come from that we have at North Pond? Where's that from? Does anybody know?
don't know.
Previous.
Turning?
Brian.
Yeah.
Okay,
Find out where Brian got it.
yeah.
I have to call him back
No,
anyways.
there you go.
He called me today.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to just say hi. I think he
would
wanted, I think
suggest
he actually
before we
wanted to.
order
He has a
anything,
question.
measure
Yeah.
it
Sure.
First before we order, and you can actually measure that kiosk. 'cause
And see if it's the same size
that
kiosk.
Kiosk was made, while
Yeah.
looking at this kiosk, I don't know.
It wasn't quite
Measure
measured.
twice, it's always a good idea.
Yeah,
Are you
okay.
saying we didn't do a good
Well, I
job?
mean,
I'm saying
It's-
that window might not be the same size
Yeah,
as
but-
that window.
Do you,
Before
do you
start
need like a
cutting
ridge
things.
cap too? Cause doesn't.
Yeah.
that one needs
a
one.
ridge
We need
cap?
one at
Correct.
North Pond and we're probably gonna need one. Yeah, we are gonna need one at the gorge, so. Yeah, you said those are 8x4 already, so we wouldn't have
No,
to
no, no,
cut
you
them?
get to exact length. They'll cut.
And they'll cut it?
It'll come to the
catch.
exact length. of it. Perfect.
Okay,
It
Yeah,
might take like 2 weeks to
Alright,
get it
good.
or
that's
something, but
fine. As long as we just,
you can give
Get
them
a
the exact
ridge.
length to the inch and they'll all come to that exact length.
all right, I think we're down to Sofinowski wood chip pile.
I heard someone was
Damage
spreading,
fence.
I heard someone was spreading wood chip pile today.
Yep,
Is that you?
yep.
Did you finish it or?
I wanna clean it up better, but
Okay.
because the track machine's still broken, but I just went there with one of our tractors
Oh,
and
it's
pushed it.
broken.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
Great.
I got
good.
it so that
People,
it's, yeah, people can walk through there and I fixed the fence post kind of. I'll straighten it better with the other machine, but it's,
oh, it's fixable?
yeah. I
We
just
don't need to
straightened it out.
order
I
more
just straightened it out.
materials?
So-
Okay,
Great.
yeah,
Awesome. Thank you very much.
you.
Yeah,
But it's still wet there, so.
it is.
it's gonna be
really
wet there.
Like Sofinowski's just wet.
Yeah, that's always wet.
A lot of vernal pools right now, right, Sabrina?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good
at
time to
the
go looking.
conference, they had like live specimens of the shrimp. The fairy shrimp.
Very shrimp. yeah.
So that means, like, I'm ready to go out there and have a look, see
Are
what's
they-
going on.
Is it big night coming up soon or?
I haven't heard
Yeah,
any,
they're gonna-
any life outside at night,
Getting
but
warmed up.
it's getting warm.
Peepers.
Yeah,
Mm.
so I think
I saw a snake
end
this
of,
weekend.
end of March, beginning of April, maybe.
Mhm.
Something to do with the
Keep us-
moon,
keep
I
us
think.
posted if you hear anything about that. We're not to Honey Pot Road and
There's some
Yeah,
pictures.
Those little spade toad frog things, they come out once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Park the car in the garage, it smells like fish,
Ew.
because you know, they're crossing
Okay.
the driveway.
Cause you're running over all of them.
Okay.
Of them.
Good for that,
I
but-
know, I know. it's
We
supposed to be bad.
don't want to talk about that.
It's an unfortunate thing.
Just
but, you know.
avoid,
All night to run away.
avoid the area while that.
Okay, we have a
migration
possible wetland
happening.
violation, 107 South Loomis Street. He had talked about this at a previous meeting. I'm not sure how we can access the
we were
property to
going
check.
to, Sabrina was gonna get in touch with the police and find out if we use their drone,
Yeah, and she did go to a workshop as well.
drones,
About
yeah.
drones, so she has maybe a possible update about usage of drones and.
So yes, I did contact the police department and I'm waiting on them, and I contacted them before I went to the workshop. And I did go to a drone workshop over the weekend, and it talked about integrity, basically, and using drones to fly over people's property in order to do enforcement. And there's like a fine line with that, and it's not necessarily the best way to solve issues. The best way really is to like knock on their door and say, hey, we have this report, and can we come on your property and have a look?
Don't go along.
So
No.
don't go
Don't
alone.
go along.
So that was just one of the things that was brought up is
I know they keep changing the, if you can fly it over as long as it's not specifically over somebody's property.
yeah.
It just happens to go over their property, but.
Doesn't the town use the satellite photos to check on sheds and additions to
Mhm.
assess property tax? So isn't that kind of the same difference?
Well, I don't know if they use it to assess property tax. But I mean, that's a good question. But
And I know for a fact that the pipeline people and the fiber optic people fly helicopters. Check.
I think that's somewhat of a
Did the police
different,
say that they use
Yeah.
it for anything like that?
It's just- it's just
Do they
kinda like,
currently use a drone for any kind of? To check and see if illegal activities are going on or
our police?
Yeah.
Didn't really get into a conversation with them about it.
to find out what our
Okay.
specific,
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. I think he's looking into it to see if we can do that. But I just gave him, the lowdown, like 107, South Loomis, we have possible.
wanted to knock on the door, I'd suggest you get in touch with Kate Bednez, because she had good rapport with them at the time. He treated her really nice, and
Mhm.
that might be the best, if we can't do the drone,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can talk to Katie, see if she can,
Mm-hmm,
we pay her to do it, of course, but.
mm-hmm. And I mean, it's up to
and
the
she's one that did
commission
report
too.
Last time, so
Right.
she has a working knowledge of what
What needs to
chips
happen.
were out there, what was there and what was moved, and
Mm-hmm.
It's a great idea.
So do you want me to tell Chief Landis to hold off?
still find out about that, just so we
It's a
have
good
some
question.
knowledge of
Okay.
what the town, how they consider that. If is it an option or
Okay,
not an option.
still want to know if it's an
If you
option.
laugh, use the word option, but,
Mm.
Drone.
okay, and we also have possible wetland violation, 31 Sam West Road.
Yeah, no update on that. I think what's gonna happen, I don't know if you guys want me to just take that off for right now.
Yeah, why don't we
Uh,
have something else to go?
Yeah,
Cause I think they have a plan, and I believe they are going to implement it before the wood frog eggs hatch. I think that's what Ryan said.
Good.
So they're just gonna scoop out all of that
Mm-hmm.
extra sediment for that.
Okay.
So that's gonna be in like the next month.
And the same with the updated the landowner wants to donate 13 Berkshire Ave.
Yeah, so there is an update.
Oh, there is.
Yes, there
Oh,
is. So
I
there
was
is.
gonna say take that off too, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, so that is in the works to be a warrant article.
Okay.
And once that goes through, that's when we can use the money that you guys appropriated for
Get that on the next upcoming town meeting,
which part?
the warrant article.
The warrant article on
The
this.
warrant article to accept the donation.
Yeah, can we
Yeah.
get that on the upcoming meeting? Is it too late or can we get it, still get it on?
What do you mean?
I think there's still time.
The warrant article, I know there was a call for warrant articles.
Mm-hmm.
Did we get? did we
Deadline.
under-
So, sorry, that's in your mail. Deadline is March 31st.
Mhm.
And it's council that's writing it up, I believe,
Okay,
or
so
Carl,
we're-
one of them. They didn't ask me to write it up. We should be good. Like,
Good.
that's on them, I believe.
All right. Okay.
And if not, our next meeting is March 18th. So we still have time to do any warrant articles if we want to like get that in there.
Okay. Do we have any further discussion before we move into executive session?
Yeah, the
Okay,
North Pond you skipped over, the recyclables update
okay.
at the North Pond property.
All right.
You guys have a piece of paper dated today with our heading. And I did send you all the PowerPoint that Miss Nicole Muni, I believe is her last name, sent out. And I just summarized the questions that were asked basically in the PowerPoint. So I don't know if you guys want me to go through this with you, or if you want Chris to go through this with you. Want me to just do it?
Yes.
Okay, do we want a recycle bin at the North Pond property? Yes or no?
How big?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Well, the issue is, we got in trouble when taking the normal trash to
Mhm.
the transfer station. Somebody complained that we
Mhm.
had bottles in
Yep. So this is solving that problem.
Mhm.
there. Also, as
So
a
we're
good
not-
example for recycling.
So
Right.
yes, we do.
Yeah, I would say,
would
yeah,
say.
in that case, yes.
Yeah.
I was in a state park in Rhode Island and they just had signs everywhere about carry in, carry out.
Yeah. Well, most places
Brought it
do.
here, take it home.
This is true.
And
Yep.
Leave no trace.
People
And
kind of
we
don't
keep
do
calling
that,
it a
though.
recycling container, but we're not supposed to put our Campbell soup can in there. It's for the bottles and cans we have down.
Yeah,
below.
it's
See, that-
returnables.
that's
But we're not supposed to
confusing
have it.
because soup cans are recyclable.
Right,
So you want
people would dump them in
returnables,
there.
right. But truly what you're looking for is
Or-
the nickels.
Yeah,
right?
And you're not supposed to have liquor on the beach anyways, so that cuts out 70% of the returnables right there.
the nips aren't returnable, so
You're up to 80% now.
it's a fine line there, I think,
So-
because of what recyclables are.
So what only should be in there is soda cans at the end of and water bottles.
How
Well,
would you?
have we done a lot of pickups on North Pond, majority alcoholic cans.
Right.
Yeah, it's.
Right.
Yes.
And the water bottles,
Yeah.
but very little soda.
Right. So you're putting effort into putting something out there that's legally gonna have very little use. Illegally, it might have a lot of use. You put your beer cans in there. But you're gonna carry out your empties after you.
Well, I mean-
On the beach.
Right.
Cause people just take and dump them right in the lake.
Well, they
Where the
sink 'em.
owners used to sit there and watch them in the boats.
They
They
would
get done
sink 'em.
drinking it, fill it with water and just,
Sink it.
there must be more bottles and cans on the bottom of that lake than you
Right.
can imagine.
You just sink them, yeah.
Sink it.
So would be. We do it on a trial basis, I mean, if it's. Right for a year and.
That's probably not a bad idea. See what happens. I mean, it's not gonna hurt anything to have one there.
hmm,
And if it doesn't work out, if people are just throwing trash in it, then
Yeah.
you can get rid of it. You know, I mean, it's not a contract that we have to keep it there.
Mm.
It's a good try if it works out and it works out.
good idea. So I'm still a little confused what the Girl Scouts are looking for from the commission.
They basically need you to say yes or no, and what's the plan?
I thought, didn't we already meet on this and say yes?
Yeah.
Thought we did, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we said yes.
But they
did a
gave
whole-
you options,
Yeah, I think you did.
which I'm like,
Hmm.
just trying to
Those-
go.
Those would be their options.
Let them
not
pick
our
an
options.
option.
I mean,
Yeah,
They're running this. We're not, we're just giving them permission to do it on our property, but
yeah, let
they're
them
gonna
do
be
it.
running the show, so whatever the way they wanna do it.
Who would clean the bins, how often, that's up to them. That's not gonna be Norm. Norm does enough.
I'm
Um,
gonna fill the bins.
So basically,
Well,
what I think
pickup.
we're saying is yes, you can put them there, you gotta maintain them and you put up what you want, is that what we're saying?
I mean, they should be in charge of the bins if they're gonna,
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
know what I
I'm not
mean?
saying, like, that's basically what the
Yeah.
questions are, the answers are to the questions. Is
Right.
that what we're
With the
saying?
1 year trial.
Yeah.
Stuck on, with the caveat.
right,
so where do you want the recycle bin?
Near the trash, or is that too obvious? Cause if the trash
By the
overflows,
kiosk, I would guess.
I would think by the
Yeah.
kiosk, by the fence.
With a sign right on
Yeah.
the kiosk saying recyclables here.
isn't there
Yeah.
a trash can there?
Yeah, at
Or
the,
Yes,
en-
there is.
at the entrance gate
So-
area.
My only concern would be is if the trash can overflows, recycle bin becomes another trash.
Well, that's
can.
what I'm saying,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, you
But even
you
still-
could restrict
But
the
I mean,
access.
Make a lot of
I
Girl
mean,
Scouts
I
angry.
get there's garbage, but probably if you have recycling, well, I don't, I guess like.
Are they gonna
I've never
separate
picked
it?
garbage, so I don't wanna speak, so I like say, but like you'd think that. People that are bringing a bunch of stuff where they're creating recyclables or cans, that's all they're bringing, I mean, but I guess not,
Yeah.
hopefully people would.
They might have
separate it.
picnic stuff and,
There's
Yeah,
all sorts of
I like
trash in
Andy's
there.
idea where
Yeah.
you put it back in your cooler and just.
oh,
walk
that is the
away with
best idea.
it, You know,
The
Yeah.
Grandpa Board, they picked up more diapers up there than anything.
Oh,
That
that's
was
nasty.
the biggest thing. People just dump their trash and diapers.
that's nasty.
well, you try it, at least if
Yeah.
it doesn't work out, then.
Hmm,
You'd have some
Address it
unhappy
then,
Girl
but-
Scouts, wouldn't you?
Mhm.
is there a schedule that you guys wanna suggest?
Well, I think
Like,
they
is
would
it-
have to monitor that and figure out a schedule.
They would present us with a schedule and, you know, we're not gonna design it for them.
Yeah, I think that's something that they would just monitor and. You know, they're gonna be busier weeks than others. So maybe they just monitor it all the time. They're driving by, checking out.
Right, if you restrict the access by putting a hole on top where you can't put anything bigger than a can or a bottle of average size,
Mhm.
then you can't just dump a bag of trash in it,
That's a good
Mhm.
point.
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But then that somebody would have to go through and individually put them in there, I don't know, that's why maybe they should come up with the design.
You can still stuff a diaper in it,
Yeah.
pretty sure.
No problem.
That's right.
But,
Sorry,
you know,
Stuff in
it
diapers.
might just kind of give it a different idea.
You know what I'm saying, like if they have all their garbage, are they gonna go put it in their car, here's my cans, put them in there, if they have a bad, I
Special
don't
glove
know,
underneath,
that's maybe.
so I didn't have to worry about
Yeah.
that.
It's usually the
Patients, you know,
ones
one at a
who
time.
have
They can
these.
throw the empty bag in too, I guess.
Yeah, and they can, you know, there's the option to partner with the Southwick Lions Club. I know they do a lot of recycling. They do the stuff at the transfer station. So if they want, or returnables. So if they want to hook up with them and get
Yeah,
some sort of partnership going where they might monitor,
they really need to design the program and.
so that would be
So
something
you
that
want
they
them-
would. No, I'm not gonna suggest that they do that.
No, you want them to design it.
They should figure these things out, right?
Whatever works.
Has to be
best for them.
creative.
Um,
But any of these options would be okay with us, is what
okay,
we're saying. We're not gonna say no to any of these things.
okay.
They have permission.
And storage of the bins in the winter. So we, that's a thing that I would say we would need to figure out. Where.
So
they
why
be
would we
stored.
store them anywhere than where they are? Why couldn't they just stay there?
You wanna leave it over winter? Cause we
But-
take. Did I take the bin? I don't remember.
They're barefoot.
Yeah,
It's a steel case. I'm guessing they're probably pretty expensive, but you can't get anything in there like other than, you know, like a bear couldn't go in there.
Right.
There's no way. And it's on this concrete slab that's into the ground
Yeah.
and that's not
No,
going anywhere at
that's
all.
federal money,
You know, yeah. If you throw something in it, forget it, they'll never
Yeah.
get it back.
right?
The mailbox.
Like a mailbox, yeah.
So you'd rather have something permanent?
Actually, I had a picture somewhere.
I'm not suggesting that it is, but even if it wasn't,
It's an option.
if it's chained down or whatever, why do we need to move it? You know, it's, that might be, it's storage space,
Mm.
because people do go in and out of there all year long. I mean,
Yeah,
especially when we have
especially
winters
now.
that are like
They
this,
might snowshoe in it if you didn't
Yeah.
have a lot of snow, right?
right?
Does the town plow that parking lot?
No,
No,
So it's,
Mm.
so it's essentially close to cars for the one.
well,
But still.
not this year,
Well,
really.
well,
I
but
mean,
what does it matter? I mean, like you said, if nobody's driving in the car, probably nobody's putting it in, it just stays there.
Right,
Is that it?
well,
Um,
for now.
for that. Yeah, we did the discussion about that, Noble Steve, that, yeah, okay, we can go into executive.
We're good, right?
Oh, sorry, the mail. So just to let you guys know that what do we call this? meeting?
Conservation Commission,
Conservation Commission,
8:30 AM,
Mhm.
March 23rd to Saturday,
Saturday.
that's our budget
our
hearing
Finance Committee meeting.
meeting.
I am out of state that day, so I think.
I think I am too.
I'm going.
I don't,
I'm definitely out of state. I'm not getting beat up at another meeting like that again.
I've done it.
Lucas,
Has anybody had any conversation with the finance committee? Do we know?
we don't have a liaison as far as I know.
oh, we have Dee Dee. Dee Dee's our liaison.
Does he?
I had a conversation with him.
So he's just gonna say cut
5
everything,
minutes.
you know.
Mm.
He's
stuff it
flat,
up like that.
flatline. Yeah, we're flatline. He said flatline everything.
Not worth even bother going, you know, was, they'll still say, well, if you don't go, we'll cut your budget. They said that to me before.
It's not nice.
No. All right,
These things happen. Okay, so
so whoever can make it would be great if you
Yeah.
could make it.
Yeah, if somebody can
We
go to
can-
that, that'd be great.
Sabrina has our budget. She'll be there with us.
I did go last year, but then probably wouldn't.
Go where?
I'll be in Phoenix.
Ooh,
It's a long commute.
Eh,
What day is it?
we can
it's,
put- Yeah.
March 23rd. It's
Saturday.
Saturday at
And-
8:30 AM.
Yeah, exactly. And it's only 5 minutes. But you could zoom into this.
We done now?
I'll
No,
try to
Dennis.
remind you. Just also, just one more thing, just the,
It'll be short.
special and annual town meeting article deadline, March 31st. Okay, that's the mail. Done, executive. Go ahead.
Okay, we have an executive session. We're gonna be moving into executive session now. We have a motion to go in executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter C, 30A, Section number 4. Moving to go into executive session to discuss the deployment of security or personnel devices or strategies with respect thereto, not to reconvene in open session.
Oh, I need to stop recording this, don't I?
Now you do.
All right, we're ending the regular meeting.
Stuff.